Hey everybody, just a quick heads up, it's 10:05 in the morning, 4:48 a.m., 4:49 a.m., on Tuesday morning, March 29th, um, 28th, anyway, 2023. I just got home around 12:30 this evening from work, 12:30 a.m., and I took a long shower, a real long shower, like a couple hour shower, and just did things I normally don't get to do. I didn't get to shave, but clipped my nails, plucked my unibrow, trimmed up, cleaned up a bit. I just took a nice long shower with music on and stuff because the meds that I just started taking must have kicked in. And suddenly I have all this energy and I'm wide awake and my mind is sharp as a tack and alert, and I've been suffering from this chronic fatigue and depression, and it's just horrible what the Hashimoto's thyroiditis does. So I just started today my meds again, and the thing is, it always starts out this way when I start taking my levothyroxine. The first day or two, I'm whoa, and I also took, the other thing is I took, they put me back on vitamin D2, 50,000 IU a week, because my D has been really down. Every time they test my blood, my vitamin D is really low. That worries me because my dad had that, and he had, cancer. He had, leukemia. AML leukemia in the blood, and other blood disorders that were genetic that I have. So that's probably why it's always down, because I'm always eating healthy stuff and vitamins and everything. There's no reason for me to be down. I know that I'm one of those people who are a sun bunny. I need to be in the sun. Otherwise, I don't get the vitamin D, and I get very seasonal depressed, and I just feel terrible for about 9 to 10 months a year because, and this whole past summer, I didn't get to spend any time outside. Like, I think I went to the beach maybe twice. I didn't even, for maybe an hour, not even. Maybe watch some sunsets, but I didn't really get to be in the sun like I'd like to. So this summer I've got to try to make the most of it. I need to be outdoors. I need to be creative. I need to be more creative. I need to be outdoors, and I need to be in the sun. I need it. My body needs the sun, otherwise I get depressed. I don't get enough vitamin D. And your body aches and you're tired and all kinds of problems when you don't get vitamin D. So when they put me on the vitamin D2, which you have to get prescribed, you can't get it over the counter, no matter how many supplements. So I got that, and then that mixed with my levothyroxine, and all of a sudden I feel amazing. Like, if I could I'm starting to get tired now because it's 5 in the morning, and I've been going since 9 o'clock probably around 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and I only had maybe 1 or 2 hours of sleep that night. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't get good sleep, but I feel like I've slept for 10 years, and I feel amazing, like mentally amazing, physically amazing. It's so awesome when this happens, but when it doesn't last long, and then it starts going down again. I can't get this back. So I've been busy, and all of a sudden I was in a good mood. Like, even though it's so nice to have joy and just peace and just be in a good mood. So as soon as I came home, I'm also fasting. I only had one meal today, like yesterday, one meal, and then I have to fast after midnight for blood work again this morning, 11:40 this morning. So I'm going to be going for at least from 11 o'clock, and what time did I eat? 7:30 we finished dinner last night until 11:40 the next morning. So I really, really fast a lot when it comes to blood work and stuff. You're not supposed to eat anything after midnight, but I didn't get home till after midnight, so I couldn't eat. I'm starving. But you feel more energy when you don't eat sometimes. You feel more alert and more energy when you're fasting. Because with my sugar issues, I'm hypoglycemic and stuff. As soon as I eat, I get really fatigued. Like, as soon as I eat dinner or anything, all of a sudden all the blood goes from my brain to digest, and I get so exhausted. I literally have to lay down for like 5 to 10 minutes every time I eat something. And it's just like, oh, it's not worth it, but the hunger pains are more painful than the fatigue. So it's just been weird. It's just how my body is. I've always been like that since I was a kid. After dinner, I'd always have to run upstairs, like literally just stop eating and run upstairs and lay down and pass out for like an hour, because food does something to me. I'm so exhausted all the time. So I hate to eat. Anyway, that with all kinds of bowel diseases and everything else I deal with. I just don't like having to eat and use the bathroom and all that other stuff. It's just a waste of time. Eating, sleeping, and pooping and all that stuff, waste of time. We spend so much time. That and standing in line for stuff. But anyway, I'm just making this because I'm getting tired now, like naturally tired. I'm actually exhausted. And I was just about to get in bed, and I've been playing like the Titanic soundtrack, and I was in the shower for like almost 2 hours. I don't keep the water running, but just, really exfoliating and cleaning different parts of my body really well, and just enjoying the music, and I was just in such a good mood as soon as I got home. And I'm like, oh, the meds kicked in. And so I'm like in hyperdrive, and if I could only stay this way at this level every day the rest of my life, I'd be so full of life, so I can get so much done. I'm so, like, feel so much better, so much more alert. Like, just, you feel like singing, and you're walking, it's like being manic depressant or something. And I'm having a high finally. It's been months of just feeling like death. So, also, I found this house I was telling you guys about, I can never afford, but I've been fantasizing a lot about moving to the Virgin Islands, and there was this house there, and I'm thinking, like, what if I go there and start a whole new life, just me and my dog, in this beautiful little tiny house on this island. It's a big island, it's one of the biggest ones, St. Croix, and it's this beautiful house. I don't want to show anybody because somebody will snatch it up real fast. I mean, it is a diamond in the rough. If I could just win enough money or get enough money to pay, it's like $300 and something thousand, but I guess you don't pay property taxes or anything, or any kind of income tax or anything there. So if I paid it off, it would be mine. Like, if I had the money to buy it and pay it off, I'd have a roof over my head, a nice one with 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, and small kitchen, dining room, living room, all mixed in one. But it's absolutely gorgeous on this perfect, gorgeous piece of land. I should put photos up of it. I'm in love with this house, and there's a few little things I want to do to it to make it a little bit better if I had the money, safer, because I'm worried. I'm like, why is this so cheap, and why is nobody living in it? Like, look, somebody must have been very rich and bought this place, but it doesn't seem like it has heat or air conditioning in it. Maybe you don't need it there. It's not near the water. It's like in the middle of the island somewhere, and it's got a beautiful yard. Like, and there's nobody anywhere around them. It's like this dirt road, and it's like the only house on this block so far. And there's like this whole beautiful yard, and all you see is just these pretty shrubbery, like natural, like island type flowering shrubbery all around the yard, all around. And then big open grass yard, just open, and then just beautiful crystal blue skies. And then in the distance, like, way in the distance, if you get up high, you can, like with a drone or whatever, you can actually see the turquoise blue waters in the distance. It's really nice place. So it's close enough inland, so if a tsunami or hurricane hit, you'd be pretty safe. And there's nobody around, so private. But a lot of the homes there have bars on all the windows and doors there in these islands, so there must be crime or something, obviously, because everyone has bars. And then the hurricane shutters on top of it. So, and I noticed the roofs are just like really thin because they must blow off all the time during hurricanes. So it's just literally just vaulted ceilings with the beams, and then just like a thin roof on top. But gorgeous. It looks like a mansion the way they designed it with stucco and pillar. It's so beautiful. But it's a tiny little house. Anyway, I can't get it out of my mind. I'm like, Lord, please, like, I just want that house. I don't know how there's got to be a catch-22. Like, if you live there, is there a place to work? I hear the health care is not that good, especially on St. Thomas. Would they even take my Husky insurance with all my ailments? How much is the insurance? You have to have home insurance, I would assume. And how much is the food and groceries? Probably like 50% more than anything else. And how much is the electricity? I didn't see any solar panels anywhere, so I would probably try to get solar panels, but I don't know if they allow it there. How much is, the gas for your car? You'd have to buy a car there, right? How much is getting there and back all the time when you need to get back to the mainland for emergencies or funerals? I'd probably take a travel job on a cruise line or something that stops there, probably for a job or something, so I can afford to live, and still be able to get back to the island, because I don't like flying too much. But anyway, I've just been thinking about, like, oh, it's like perfect. There's not much inside that I would change, just maybe a little bit of paint, but it's like, wow. It's everything I could hope for, and when I just envisioned myself, like, I saw the yard, and I'm just like, wow, I could picture me and Maverick just playing in that yard, and just really enjoying the peace and quiet, just me and God. I want a big, big crucifix in the living room, and with a little place to kneel and pray with a big Bible, and it's just, basically, the main part of the house is big enough for one guy, or maybe a husband and wife, that's it, with 2 other rooms for little kids or whatever, but anyway, I don't know, I just can't get this place out of my mind, and every once in a while I dwell on things, and fantasize, and gets my mind off of stuff, and I actually start getting happy, like I actually have it, and I can smell the air, and I can picture myself just sitting there. And so I took a shower tonight playing like 50s music and stuff, and I was just in the shower just thinking about, okay, and I almost thought I was living there, like, just imagining what it must be like to have a new life, and to be happy, and to be somewhere cool and exotic like that, and say, wow, I actually live here. The last time I felt like that was bittersweet, because I moved to a beautiful place in Florida when I was 25 with some roommates, and the roommates made it a miserable. It was like hell on earth with them. But other than that, lap of luxury, every day I'd be like, wow, I'm living in Florida. It's my dream to live in Florida. It's a beautiful place, and I got my 2 dogs with me. But I miss my dad so much, and my family. And I knew he started crying when he left me. He drove down there with me, and he cried. He said, it's not too late to come home. And I'm like, Dad, I can't. And I felt like it broke his heart to lose me, and I was his favorite. And so when I found out he was sick, I ended up, I knew before him. I found out supernaturally before him that he had cancer, and he didn't have much time left. And he didn't even, believe me when I told him, but I'm like, Dad, I'm coming back home, I have to. And he's like, don't do that just for me, I'm fine. I'm like, you're not fine, I know, I know. And so when I got up there, he was diagnosed with cancer not too long after that, and so I needed to be with him. I brought him to the Lord, and this and that, but I always wanted to go back to a tropical place and really just get comfortable there. But I'm so worried about, my family and not being here. If somebody's sick in the hospital, to pray for them, or if they die, not being able to say. But they won't even talk to me now anyway. And every time somebody ends up in the hospital, I find out through the grapevine, or the Lord or a guardian angel wakes me up and says, you need to pray, your mother's in the hospital, your sister's in the hospital, whatever. And I find out that way, supernaturally, that they're in trouble. And then I make some phone calls to the hospital, and I find out that they're there. But I'm not allowed to visit or ask questions, because my family purposely tells the hospital, do not let Stephen know, don't tell him anything, don't let him visit, don't give him room information, nothing. I'm like banned from the hospital whenever my family members are in the hospital. They won't let me be there, which stinks, because if somebody dies, I won't be able to say goodbye. And they tried to do that to me when my dad was sick. The couple of nights before he died, when he went into the hospital that last time, it was bad. And I didn't have a car at the time, and they wouldn't bring me, and they wouldn't pick me up, and they wouldn't let me borrow a car to get to him. And they were all there. The whole family was around his bed all night, and I had to get a ride from somebody. And they're like, what are you doing here? And my dad found out. He's like, when I told him that they purposely tried to keep me home and keep me away from him, he literally said to them, everybody can leave now. The most important person's here now. My son is here, and that's what matters the most. And they were all like, what? Like, really upset with him. Like, we're not going anywhere. Why would you keep my son from me? Don't you think I want to see him before I die? Like, why would you do that? It was just so evil and cruel, the things my family did to me. I can't believe the things, And then, about an hour before my dad died, They all went, my dad was resting in his hospital room, and everybody else in the family went down to the cafeteria. So I stayed with him because he wanted me to. He asked me, he's like, don't leave. And I'm like, I don't want to leave. I want to spend as much time with you as possible. And they were mad because they wanted me to go with them. And I'm like, no, I'm staying with Dad. He wants me to stay with him. They're like, let him rest. I'm like, he's fine. So my dad like grabbed my arm. He's like, don't go. And me and him had a great conversation when they were gone. Like things that he wanted to talk to me about that he couldn't say in front of them. All of a sudden, I'm standing next to my dad's deathbed. He's laying down in his hospital bed. And my brother-in-law comes in the room, goes on the other side of the bed, leans over, gets in my face, and starts... What did he say to me? He said, I can't even repeat it. You're an effing piece of whatever. You're a real piece of effing whatever. He's like, I just want you to know that. And then he storms out of the room again. And I'm like, and my dad was like, what is that all about? And I'm like, he's like, I knew he shouldn't have married my daughter. He's like, I was like, Dad, you and I warned Donna about him. Now you see his true colors. It's almost like he did it purposely behind everyone's back so that he can let my father know how he really felt about my father's son. Like, that was so cruel of my brother-in-law to do to my dying father. Like, he didn't need to hear that. That was really wrong. And it made him so nervous. Like, and he's like, see, this is why I wish I wasn't dying. He's like, I don't want to leave you here with this family. I know they're not going to be there for you. I know they're going to, kick you out of the family, and I can't protect you. And I'm like, Dad, don't worry about that. You're the one that's dying. I'm my father's son. I said, and I got something that they don't know. I said, me and you, we're blood. I said, so I am a lot like you. I'll survive. I said, but I got something they don't have. He's like, what's that? I'm like, God. They don't have a relationship with God, but I do. He's my father too. And my father's like, you're right. God will take care of you. I'm like, I know he will. So no matter what they do to me, he'll be there for me. So don't worry, Dad. And you'll be helping me from heaven. I said, so, it was just a sad time. But anyway, I'm just rambling here. My Steve Dinello memoirs at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm also procrastinating because Donna's out of meds. Every 2 weeks I have to sit at night. I come home late at night and I'm there for like an hour or two at the table, trying not to fall asleep and pouring all of her meds for the next 2 weeks. Daytime meds, there's like 15 or 17 of them now, and nighttime meds. And she always drops it on the last minute. So tonight I get home and, I'm completely out of meds. I'm like, what about, do you ever need to get you through to tomorrow? No. And I'm like, I'm not getting home until after midnight. I would like to come home and shower. I haven't showered in a couple of days. Like, it's my time, Like, I need to, it'd be nice to go to bed at a decent time, but there's always the house to clean and dog to take care of and her to take care of, and there's always something. And I just realized now, too, I hear the garbage men out there, so I gotta go back outside now and put the garbage out to the street, otherwise they're not gonna take the garbage. 5 o'clock in the morning, I should be sleeping. You see why I never get any sleep? But anyway, I'm talking myself into a bad mood here already. I was in such a good mood, and now I'm starting to think about my life. But I was happy thinking about this place and just fantasizing about what it would be like to have my own home and live in a tropical destination. There's only 27,000 people that live there permanently year-round on this island. That's less than what I have in the town I live in right now. There's jobs for the tourist industry and cruise lines and stuff like that, and work-from-home jobs. But like I said, there's got to be a catch-22. Like, how much is the electricity? How much is the water? It looked like every house had a desalinization type setup and a very small water tank for drinking. So I guess the drinking water on these islands isn't really good. You have to purify them, and so that's probably really costly or whatever. Maybe it's a well, I don't know. But I see these tanks with all these purifier things. They might even take the water from the ocean and have to desalinize it. And then the other thing is, well, wait, are we washing in salt water? Like, or am I only going to have like a 2-minute shower? I mean, there's two beautiful bathrooms with these huge walk-in showers and like top-notch tile. It was gorgeous. And I'm like, wait a minute, can you shower, or is the water going to be out in like 2 minutes? Because how big is the water tank? And does it cost money? Do we have? I didn't see any other neighbors or anything anywhere close to the house. So I'm like, wait, so where does the sewage go? There's two big toilets there. Where does the is there sewer? Is it a septic tank? Is it um, look normal? You know. So I don't know. Lots of questions. Island life is tough and different, and so it's not for poor people like me. You got to be rich to be able to enjoy it, and that's probably why they just go there on vacation. They don't actually live there. But me, I would live there, and if my family keeps being this way, why not? If I had the money, I'll buy myself a little plot. Maybe I can get buried in the yard. I don't know, but buy myself a plot over there in a stone and everything, just in case I die, um, and be buried on the island. I guess I don't know, and just go there. If I had a wife or a fiance, that's why I'm saying, like, I have plans in my life. Like, I want to maybe go back to school and be a deacon at least, or something, you know? I could get married and be a deacon, and then still work for the church and all that stuff, right? And I want to have, like, a ministry of some sort. That's what I want to do full time, but I would have to find a wife around my age who loves the tropics. Every girl I know doesn't like the heat. I like the heat. They don't like tropical places. They're northern snowy people. I mean, I can live anywhere. Like, I'm very adaptable. There's something appealing to all the seasons. Like, I bet you I wouldn't mind living in Sweden, except there's a lot of mosquitoes there, and it's really cold and dark for half the year, and then it's like sun never sets half the year, and so it's like, you know, it's a bit extreme. But it would be nice to be able to travel and live a year or two in all these different places around the world, but there's not enough time. So I think that at my age, if I could just settle down, have a ministry and a decent job, and have a wife who is just like me. I mean, I like to blast my music at night. I don't want a wife who just wants everything quiet all the time. I like religious music and chants. I like to have everything candlelight. I save money that way. I love candle sconces throughout the house. I really am like from the dark ages, and I really like living kind of like that, like the Amish. And so I need someone who's not like a prima donna who needs air conditioning and needs, you know, electricity and needs hot tubs and pools and, you know, all that stuff. I need someone that's a lot. God has to find someone that's just like me. Literally. Who loves adventure, likes to travel, loves the Lord, will pray with me every day, who doesn't mind that the house is going to have huge crucifix in it and look like basically like a monastery. You know, somebody who could have fun, somebody who will do whatever I want, you know, like who will go with me wherever, you know, it's that kind of person. Who's, hey, you're my husband, I love you, whatever you want to do, let's go. You want to move to Mexico, go move to Mexico. You want to live in an island, I'm there, you know. I'm there by your side no matter what. And who has similar interests to me, so that we can enjoy things together. You know, I don't want to be weighed down. If I had a lot of money, I'd be traveling all the time. I'd be doing all kinds of stuff. I'd probably enjoy being single, you know. But if I had money, because then I can do things that I want to do without. One thing I can't stand, and my whole life I always feel like I'm held back. There's always somebody who can't keep up with me, or every time I have a free moment, somebody needs something, or, you know, I get on vacation and it's like, oh, I want to go horseback riding. Oh, I don't like horses, I don't want to go. Or, okay, I'm a beach person, I really want to go snorkeling, I really want to go to beach. Oh, I don't really want to go in the water, I don't like to swim, or, you know, or I go with groups on vacation with people and they never want to do what I want to do, and it's just like, you know what? I need to be a lone wolf and just do my own thing. But the problem is, I have people to take care of, so I can't just come up and leave wherever I want. And I don't have the money to do it. And most of the time, I don't have the health to do it. So anyway, I think that for my health, I need to go to a warm tropical environment again. I feel best there. My body, it doesn't ache as much. I can breathe better. I'm just happier in the sun. I can't stand New England anymore. I just figured it out. It starts getting cold here now in like August. The leaves start turning. Last year, the leaves started turning foliage colors at the end of July. It wasn't even August yet. We had orange leaves on the trees. It's getting earlier and earlier every year, and it makes me so depressed because I'm like, wait, Summer's not over yet. We still have another month, and I just started enjoying my summer, and now all of a sudden it's getting cold, and the leaves are turning, and everybody's putting out fall stuff, and I'm like, I can't stand it. I love the fall, but not in August and July. And so August is getting colder. So it starts getting cold in August, September, October, November, December, okay, January, February, March, April, May. It's cold here sometimes up until June. May, June is when it starts getting warm. So that's 10 months out of 12 that we actually have like wintry, too cold to swim or enjoy anything. Too cold and windy and stuff. And it's getting longer and longer up here, like, you know? So I'm tired of it. I want to go somewhere where it's like 12 months out of the year, nice and warm. You know, if I want to go, I'll come up and visit Connecticut if I want to see snow, you know, or cold. But I just want to be able to wear t-shirts, flip-flops, and shorts most of the time. And I do that even in the winter anyway. So I need that for my personal health. Why am I talking this? Because I'm trying to talk myself into making a big decision one day, as soon as possible, into saying, listen, you got to think of yourself now, too. I'm 43 years old. What am I going to do with the rest of my life? I'm wasting my life. Like, I want to find a job that makes me happy. I want to have a vocation. I want to live somewhere that I'm happy living. You know, the cost of living is expensive everywhere. So, why not find somewhere or a country? It doesn't have to be America. It could be another country. It could be an island somewhere. I don't care if it's Hawaii. As long as I can afford it and I'm happy. Because the one thing I loved about Florida was, even if I didn't like my job or the traffic was ridiculous, I had my convertible and I sat back, and everywhere you drove was beautiful palm trees and sunshine. And I like severe weather, so when the thunderstorms came through and stuff like that, it was awesome. Up here, we don't get hardly any good thunderstorms or lightning storms. We don't even get snow anymore. We used to get 3 feet all the time when I was a kid. It's just the weather's all messed up here, and it's just, I don't know, I'm sick of it. So I really need to, I'm praying to God that He moves me soon, like gives me money or a home or something, a new job, something to, I'm getting really like, you know, it's my therapist told me one time, it's my circumstances and the people in my life that are bringing the depression on. Because I'm just not happy, and I never have time to do anything that makes me happy. Like, what if I just want to go to the beach and relax by myself? I can't. What if I want to paint a painting? I used to paint. I'm very creative. I can't. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the place to do it. You know? What if I want to date or something? I can't. You know? What if I want to go back to seminary or something? I can't. Everything I want to do in life, I can't. I want to have a bigger prayer life. But there's not enough time to, you know, do that most of the time. So it's like, nobody would be happy feeling like they're a prisoner in their own life and they never get a chance to do anything they want to do. And life is short and my clock's ticking and I'm getting older and I'm getting, you know, my health issues are not that good. So I don't have much time if I'm going to get married and you know, even if I get married, if we have kids now, by the time they're 20, I'm going to be an old man. I don't have much time to raise them and enjoy them and run around with them now. My knees are shot, my neck and back are shot. I mean, I'm practically on disability. Like, this just stinks. I won't be able to enjoy my kids if I had them. Or go surfing or fishing anymore. Or, you know, I don't know. There's things I wanted to do, like skydiving and, I don't know, snorkeling, scuba diving, you know. Things my body won't let me do anymore. Horseback riding, I miss it. But my back, bouncing up and down, it would cripple me. And I always hoped that I'd be able to do those things again. I'm glad that I got to do them when I was a kid. But that was so long ago. So long ago. I don't know. But anyway. What's the point of this? Money is everything, and I don't have it. But anyway, I was happy when I was fantasizing about this place and what it would be like if I actually could do it and live there, you know. It made me so happy. For a few days, it's been on my mind. I couldn't sleep the past 3 nights because this place was on my mind. I'm like, stop, get this thing off my mind. There's no way I could have that home. It's just that it's the first time I actually found something that I literally really fell in love with it. I'm like, Lord, can I please have that house? Can I please move there? Please. You know? But it doesn't make sense because I got to go where the Lord wants me to go, and I got to be around people, and I'm trying to get away from people. That's why I like that place. To be alone in a beautiful tropical island by myself, away from people. But that's not what Christians are supposed to evangelize people and stuff, and I can't do that if I'm not around people. But then I was thinking, like, what if there's a seminary on the island? What if there's a school where I could go and be a deacon or a chaplain or a priest, on the island, and or work for a church on the island, and maybe even get married still and stuff on the island, and just live the rest of my life on the island, But I also don't want to be in America, especially living so close to New York City and Washington, D.C., when all hell breaks loose and we get invaded or bombs start going. They're not going to nuke the Virgin Islands, but they're going to nuke America, so I don't want to be here. So I'm kind of hoping that God will send me abroad, And how cool would it be if I did get this place, right? This is what my mind's been thinking. If I get this place, and then my family sees how happy I am and whatever, and they all move there, and we're all getting along finally, and the whole family just resides on this island, safe, away from the mainland. That would be awesome, but they wouldn't do it, because my family's very sentimental, and they don't even part with a tissue, and so they're just going to stay in the same town until they die, because, the memories. Okay, great, but you know what? The people I love are gone or dead, so I'm not going to stay here just to visit their cemetery. I could pray for them anywhere, it's time to move on. Like, life's too short. You got to move on in time. And hey, my family made it easier for me because they won't talk to me. So since they won't even talk to me at all, and they live 5 minutes up the road, and I'm not allowed to even drive by the house, why am I here? The minute I get a chance to get out of this state, I'm leaving again. I'm off. I'm gone. There's no point in being here because they won't let me see him anyway. So I'm all alone. I only really stay here for Donna because Donna needs me. Other than that, I just wish I could win like the Powerball and have enough money to live the rest of my life and still help her and give her a chunk of money and make sure she's okay and her daughter, and then move and leave and start my life, and start my ministry and maybe go back to seminary. Something for me, something I want to do. Because all I do is serve people every day. But I never get to do anything I want to do. And it's killing me. It's literally killing me. I'm so sad all the time. But people are needy. And they'll just take all the time. Especially old people. So. And they can be selfish too. Because they're alone and they don't want to be alone. And they don't care if they suck the life out of you. Because their life is already over. So they just need, want. And it's like, Steve. Well, what about Steve's life? They don't seem to care that I still would like to have a life. That you already had your life. You had your careers, your whatever, your families, whatever. Now it's my time. But they don't care. They just, suck the life out of you. Oh well. Anyway, so that's it. I don't even know why I'm making this video journal at 5 in the morning, but I have to go put the garbage out now near the curb. Otherwise, they won't take it because it's not next to the curb, which is 5 feet away from where it is. And I have to pour old Donna's meds, so I won't get to bed till probably 7 a.m. And then I gotta get up because I gotta get my blood work done at 11, so 11:30. So this is my life, and the birds are already chirping, and it stinks so bad in this house all the time. I won't say why. So I have to keep the windows open even in the winter, and the space heater, and the fan on, because it smells like farts and poop and rotten eggs constantly in this house between someone and the dog. So that every day gag. Like I makes your eyes tear. It's like living in a. Did you ever smell a geriatric clinic? Did you ever work in an old folks' home? That smell. It gets worse by the day. You leave the house. It's like, oh. You go back in the house. Like, oh. And all winter, like I said, we have 10 months of cold here, so it's hard. She doesn't want the winter. She's always cold. So it's like you can't open the window. And then I go to that other guy's house I work for, and he won't let me open the windows. And the windows have not been opened in 25 years. Literally. He put storm windows in instead of took the screens out and refuses. He's always cold. He keeps the heat on like 75. It's always hot. Even in the summer, it gets to 100 in there. And he goes outside in 90-degree heat with a baseball cap on, or no, one of those golf caps, and a jacket, and pants, and a sweater. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And he keeps saying, why aren't you wearing a jacket? I'm like, it's 95 degrees out. I'm soaking with sweat. What is wrong with you? Oh, I'm always cold. I'm like, good. Then be all, I can't stand it. They always want you to do what they do. I'm losing my patience. I got to get a new career because I'm not going to be very Christian very much longer if I have to keep putting up with this. I hate when people try to tell me how to live, and like every day, I don't wear a coat most of the winter because I'm coming from a house which is pretty cold all the time, into a nice warm car, and then to a house that's 75 degrees. So I don't really need the coat. I put it in the back of the car, and if I need it, I have it. But I like to dress like this most of the time. I wear my scrubs. I'm fine. And every day, aren't you cold? Why don't you have a coat on? Every day you're going to ask me this. I would wear a coat. I don't care what you do. I always wear a coat. That's good. Shut up. Mind your business. You drive me insane. Why don't you wear a coat? Every day he does this. Every day. So I'm just I'm getting fed up with people. I really am. They just aggravate and they just instigate, and I can't stand it. I just want to be left alone. Like, I don't care if I want to go shirtless in the wintertime. Leave me alone. Mind your business. I'm not bothering you. Anyway. Sorry for the ranting video, people. I don't even know why I'm making this. I'm just talking to myself here. Trying to get tired so I can go to sleep. And then I just realized I have a ton of meds to get ready now for her. And I got to go outside and put the garbage cans out. So I should be able to get to bed by maybe 7, 8 o'clock this morning because she's going to be up any minute now. And then all the noise and the drama starts and the smells and the whatever she needs and the dog and the barking and... But you know why I do this? For peace of mind. If I don't stay up all night when she's in bed, she finally goes to bed between 12 and 2, if I'm lucky, sometimes 4. She never sleeps. She's probably still in there listening to me the whole time. But I would never have a moment of quiet to myself to read the Bible, pray, get some stuff done, get the dishes done, get stuff without the dog jumping on me, or needing to go out every 5 seconds, or her needing something, or yap, 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 yap. Some people talk too much. I'm doing it right now. But during the day, I'm quiet. And it's just constant. Her, and then I go to work with that other guy, and it's like, oh my gosh, shut up. Why don't you just shut up for 5 minutes? As a religious person, when I was in a monastery, you don't talk unless it's necessary. Your words are few, and you just use your words to pray and sing chants, and that's it. It was wonderful. But now, I'm back in the world. Everybody's and about the stupidest, unnecessary stuff. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh my God. So I'm up all night, because even though I need sleep, I also need to have me time. And this is my me time right now, venting. So I don't hold all this in all week. So, anyway, that's it. I'm going to get the garbage put out and then get all our meds poured and hopefully try to get a few hours of sleep before it's back on the road again all day again. But it was nice until I started getting tired now. I almost thought I can stay up, but then I'm starting to get tired all of a sudden. But the whatever meds they gave me and the combination had me so like, but it didn't hit until after midnight. All of a sudden, 12:30, wide awake and like, whoa, I feel great. You know, my body's still in pain, but I'm mentally okay. And like, if I can keep this all the time, I feel like I'm 20 years old mentally again. I could do so much. I'm almost afraid to go to sleep because what if I wake up and I feel like the way I used to again, you know, or I'm going to feel terrible in a few hours. Once I go to sleep, when I have to get up, I feel sick and tired and can't get out of bed. So it's like once you keep going, you try to keep it going, you know. Nobody seems to understand these things. But anyway. Alright, well that's enough fantasizing and talking about stuff. I'm going to bed. I hope you guys are, whatever you're doing, everybody's having a blessed time. Please keep me in your prayers. I have a ton of things that I need prayer for, and I don't even pray for myself because there's too many other people who need stuff all the time. And every time I go to Mass, it's like, this person's in purgatory, or this person's dead, or I don't know where they are. Maybe they need a mass, or this person's sick, or I always give up my Holy Communion and my mass for everybody else, and I don't offer it up for myself because I feel bad doing that because other people are always needy. But you know what? I'm starting to get aggravated because the people I'm praying for most of the time don't go to church. So that's their fault if they end up in hell. It's like after a while, it's like, wait a minute. I go all the time, and I'm offering up my church time, my prayers, and my sacrifices, my mass for you, and you don't even go to church and could care less. Meanwhile, I'm going, and I need these things too. Who's praying for me? Well, I'm praying for everybody else. Like, who's looking out for Steve? I hope there's people looking out for me all the time. Otherwise, I'm going to be in trouble because I'm going to end up empty-handed on Judgment Day and end up in hell with everybody I'm trying to keep out of there. So, if I can understand why people get selfish and worry, they're more self-centered and worry only about themselves, because I'm too much. I'm always giving the last dime away. I'm always worrying about everybody else, and I never tend to my own needs like sleep and prayer and mass and whatever I need. Like, I forget that I have needs too. I run myself mentally and physically into the ground, and there's always some jerk waiting to take. Right there, just waiting to, there's Steve, and take, and even though they see you like dying, they don't have the common courtesy to say, you know what, Steve, you need a day off. You know what, Steve, I'll leave you alone. Look, no, it's just like, oh, okay, well, I need this, and I need that, and let's do this, and let's do, what are you doing tomorrow? And they get the whole week planned out for you, and it's like, are you going to croak sometime soon so I can live? That's where I'm like sometimes thinking, I'm like, God forgive me. But honestly, it's like, leech. And what did I do to deserve this? That's why when you're too nice, and that's another thing. I'm like the only Christian or Catholic around here like me. They won't go out of their way for anybody. They go to church, and then that's it. They put in their time, and there's no charity, there's no love. They see you broken down the side of the road. Oh, I'll pray for you. Oh, they know you can't buy groceries. Oh, well, hopefully the Lord will provide. And the Lord's probably like, you provide, moron. Like, you're my hands and mouthpiece over there. Pray and help them. You got money. But no. Oh, I don't want to do that. So nobody wants to help. So it's like, I learned a long time ago, don't depend on people for anything. Anything. You never know when they're going to run out on you, or just, and no matter how Catholic or Christian they seem, they end up showing their true colors sooner or later, especially when times get tough, or when you need something and all of a sudden they're out. And so I hope my parish watches this video and realizes that's how I feel about most of you. Yeah, I think you're all a bunch of, God forgive me, but you need to know that you're all a bunch of uncharitable, cliquey. I feel like I'm in high school with the popular kids sitting over there, and I'm with the retards over here, the losers nobody wants to talk to over here. And, you're all driving your nice expensive cars and this and that and whatever. Some of you even wear your little veils, but you don't talk to me. You're antisocial, you're cliquey, you only associate with the same people all the time. You look down your nose at me and Donna. You don't ever offer to help us. Even when I've asked you, hey, you want to go out, you want to hang out, you want to come over to the house for dinner, or, maybe we should do something. No, it's okay. I'm busy. But I see you hanging out with Father Turner all the time, or other people, and that's fine. But you just don't want anything to do with me. Why? Is it because I'm not wealthy? Is it because you think I might need something from you or ask you for something? Is it because I'm not popular? What is the issue? I don't even care anymore. I'm fed up. I just want to go. I'll pray for everybody, but I can do that. And I told the Lord, I said, Lord, if you just give me that house on that island, I promise I'll pray every day, all day. I'll pray all the more, and I'll pray for the world. In my own little private, secluded, just me and my dog praying in there like a monastery. I'm fine with that. Prayer is very powerful, but I don't need to associate with these people who want nothing to do with me. So why am I here? So I just hope that God is going to do something soon, because it has been so stale and stagnant. I'm going crazy. I need a new life. I can't stay like this any longer. I want my independence back, and I want to have a life, and I want to see the world, and I want to minister to people, and I want to do something. I didn't sign up to do this. I've been doing this for everybody my whole life. My dad, my mother, my grandmother, There's always somebody getting old and sick, and now it's like, oh, Steve will take care of them. What about everybody else just lives their own life? Where are my sisters when other people in the family are sick or in the hospital? Nowhere to be found. Oh, I got our family. I got my job. I'm going on vacation. You don't have a life. You can take care of them. Thanks. All the time. Whatever. Anyway, we just hope that people like that get to heaven, because I don't know how they're going to. When you don't go to church, you don't pray, you live only for yourself and you and your own little family, and you only care about you and your family, and that's it. You don't care about anybody else in the world, so there's lack of love for God, lack of love and charity towards neighbor. You don't even treat your own brother good, or your own brother in Christ well, and you all think you're going to heaven? Okay. I think you should start reading that Bible, because every time I read it, I'm terrified, and I'm actually trying to live it. What about people who don't live it at all, don't even try? I'm getting to the point where it's like, listen, sink or swim, like everyone for themselves. If people by now don't realize we're in the end times, if they don't realize by now what God expects, you don't just go to church and pray a few prayers every day and that's it. What are you doing to give back to God? What are you doing for your neighbor in this world? What are you doing for the church? The church isn't just a building. It's every day, everywhere you are, that's where the church is. Where's the fellowship? Are you banding together with other brothers and sisters and praying together and getting stuff done? Are you helping people? When you see people who in need, are you giving them food and water and shelter or clothes or whatever? Are you at least praying for them? Are you handing out roses? What are you doing? I mean, that's what I do. I'm always busy doing something. So I don't understand. And it's not that I have time. Oh, well, you have time. No, I make the time. I have less money and I work less hours so I could be about the Lord's business. And right now I don't have a choice anyway. It's the way I am. And I think God set it up this way so I would have more time to help people. Because if I had to work 80 hours a week or 40 hours a week, like, again, by myself, just to support everything, I could not minister or help needy people or whatever. So, I would be all about the world and not about God. And God said, put me first. Then render to Caesar what is Caesar's. So now do you understand why it's better for a Christian to have less attachments, smaller home, less bills, less things? Get a cheaper car. Try to minimize so that you're not working so much to keep what you have that you never get to enjoy it anyway. And you have no time for God, and your soul is dying. You have got to take care of your soul. That's eternal. And if you're spending more time just living life like everybody else in the world who doesn't know God, oh, well, I got kids to take care of. I got to go to work. I got to pay the bills. Okay, yeah. Well, then you know what? Try to find ways to minimize and live simply. Maybe you don't need all those fancy clothes. Maybe you don't need an expensive car. Maybe you don't need a big house. Maybe you don't need to go on vacation every year. I don't know. Cut corners. And don't forget that we're supposed to be donating and tithing 10% of our income to God. First fruits. People forget that. They put whatever in the basket. Well, like for me, if I make $300 a week, then I need to be putting $30 in that basket. And that $30 is a tank of gas for me to get to work. And sometimes I put money in the basket and then I'm like short at the end of the month. And I'm like, great, now I can't pay my bills. But the Lord always finds a way somehow to get it to me. So, you got to do that. And you're supposed to be, besides giving 10% to church, what about somebody on the side of the street who needs food, water, or something, What do you do for them? Because you're supposed to do that too. People they don't have nothing for myself. Well, and nobody said it was easy being a Christian. We are the ones who have to be Jesus down here. And that's what he did. He didn't even have a place to lay his head. He just went from house to house or slept in the field or whatever with his disciples and helped people. It was all about that. It was all about loving God and loving people and praying and helping people. And so we're supposed to do that too. God never commanded us that we have to have this American dream or whatever you want to call this, where you have to have the house and a college degree and a nice car and a camper for vacation and, 2 vacations a year and all this other stuff. That's not what he said. That's worldly stuff. In fact, the more I go down this rabbit hole, the more pissed off I get that I realize that we have been trapped We were born and brainwashed in this world by people like the Rockefellers and the Bilderbergs and all these rich elite upper classes who set all this up to trap us. They told us at a young age what we will and will not learn in school because they make the rules. You have to have this and you have to know this and this and that so that what? So we can work for you? That's why. So that we can work for them and their companies and corporations and make them money. They don't care about us. They never cared about us enjoying our life. It was only, we're just animals. We're just like horses. You know, they pick and choose. Ooh, this is good. Breed the good ones, and you know we'll make them CEOs for our companies. And these ones could be, you know, they have them all in a system. You know, the runts in the bottom, but they treat us like cattle. They trade us literally. It's disgusting. We're just here to serve them, and then they make you think that you have, you know, some freedom and that you can, even if you have a nice home. When do you get time to enjoy it? By the time you're done working every week, you have like maybe a couple hours to shit, shave, shower, and run off to work again. And then by the time you retire, you have to downgrade because you can't even get up the stairs anymore, right? So you didn't even get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's sick. And then the money that they pay us, they take back in taxes anyway. And what they don't take back in taxes, they raise the inflation and they raise your interest rates. And so they're going to get, you're not even getting paid. You're renting. You never get to own anything. Even after you pay off your car, which they overcharge you for, then you still got to pay high insurance rates, and then you have to pay all this gas, and then you have to pay to fix it through the nose, and then you have to pay taxes every year on the car taxes, and the same thing with the house. By the time you're done with a 30-year mortgage, you're still paying property taxes on top of the mortgage, and interest. So you've already paid double for the house's worth by the time you're done paying it off. And now, once you pay it off and you finally own it, if the thing don't fall apart and burn down, then if you have the money to even fix it, you have to pay property tax constantly. Income tax and property tax. You don't own it. You're renting it. That land, you don't own it. You're renting it from the government. At least that's how it is here in America. It's sick. And that's why I was looking at this island, because supposedly there's no income tax and there's no property tax. I'm like, wait a minute, who pays for the sewers then and the roads, and how do they afford to live in these islands in the Caribbean without charging people constant taxes? They must make their money somehow. So maybe it's really expensive products. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're making money off of utilities. Something's got to give, because they don't have to pay. They buy a place and they own it. Like, once you pay off the bank, you pay off the mortgage, you own the land. That's it. It's yours. You don't have to pay income tax or property tax ever again. You know how much money I can save out of my paycheck? If I made the same money there that I make here, I could actually own a home. If I didn't have to pay car taxes every year and property taxes every year. And income tax every week. Like, I'd have all my money. And I could actually live tax-free and be able to afford to live. Wow. Gee, think about that. Don't you think that the solution to poverty and welfare is to stop taxing people? Yeah, it is. They want you on welfare so they can put the mark of the beast in you one day and make you totally dependent on them. They want to crash the economy and make you stand in a bread line again. That's what they want. They want you dependent on the government. And if you're not dependent on the government, well, then they're making more money off of you. It's sick. Either way, they got you. So, if they stopped taxing people even for 5 years, and everybody was able to keep their taxes for like 5 years, they could catch up and actually pay off their debts and mortgages and live less stress and not have to work so hard. But where would the elite be able to control you and keep you so preoccupied that you have no time for God or to enjoy your life? They want you dead. They want to use you up and then dead and then replace you. They want to get the population from 8 billion to 500, a manageable 500 million. So that's what it's all geared to for this. And by the way, before I end this video, we knew this was coming, this alien agenda. Well, now apparently the Pentagon is telling us that there's an actual mothership. Now, they kept hinting about this over the past 10 years. But now they're saying there's a mothership, they believe, in our solar system. And that's why we're being visited constantly now. They're here. They're on their way. And we're going to have to get used to these aliens making themselves known. They're going to be visiting us, and we better just get used to it. No. What you're doing is you're going to make us think there's a mothership with your technology. You know they're demons. The Antichrist is here on the earth. He's somewhere. Like, literally, there was a priest that said he actually met him. He knew he was the Antichrist. God showed him. That's the guy. It's him. So he is here, and he's going to make himself seen on the world scene pretty soon. And these aliens are going to start eating people and killing people. They're not aliens, they're demons. And they've always been here. And then they have that whole, in Antarctica, there's like a whole underground world, right? Civilization. That's why they won't let us go there. Well, it's like a whole nother Earth inside the hollow Earth. Yeah, it's probably hell, and these demons are in there and waiting for the time where the Lord allows them to come out and start doing the end times damage. That's what it is. So, no wonder they don't want us to know, because they're demons. They're demons. They got technology. See, people think that there's a separation between dimensions and God, or technology and demons and all this stuff. These are fallen angels who are cast out of heaven and thrown down here with us. They're trapped down here with us. They've had plenty of time with all of their supernatural wisdom of angels. Okay, they got the wisdom of God to be able to make bodies for themselves out of clones and DNA and animals. They have technology so that they can punch through and travel around here just like we have to blend into this dimension and to be able to travel into different dimensions. Like, that's what they're doing. And you think they're aliens from another world. Whatever. And even if they were, they're probably still going to come and eat us anyway. So I say blow them out of the sky. But whatever. Now the Pope, what was it? Pope Francis, one of the first things he said, I think it was him, wasn't he the one that said, when he first became Pope, something stupid like, well, if there are aliens, then I'll bless them and let them have Mass, because they're God's creation too. And they're intelligent, so I would bless them and let them come to Mass or something like that, give them communion. Anyway, if these beings were benevolent, they would have made themselves known a lot sooner. Like, they were all along. Why would they? Listen, here's the answer I'm getting right now. Only the devil creeps around in the dark and hides in the shadows. Only evil skulks around in the dark. The truth is always out in the light. Goodness shows itself in the light. We got nothing to hide. No secrets. Nothing to be ashamed of. So, if these creatures have been living amongst us for thousands of years, why do they not make themselves publicly known all the time? Like, why are they always hiding in the dark? Why are they always obscure? It's because they're not good. That's why. They have to hide in the shadows in the dark, and God keeps us safe from them. And they can't. They got to obey Him. And He doesn't let them mingle with us. Otherwise, we'd have Nephilim issues again and stuff. So, God is keeping them at bay. And when He gives the order to allow them to do their end times destruction, then we're going to be in for trouble. The Euphrates River is already empty. The demons are down there growling and making all kinds of noise. They have more recordings now. They're going to be unchained and let go by God to do damage on the earth and kill 1/3 of mankind. That's in the Bible. Everything is set. The stage is set now. We're ready. They got the red heifers. They got the blueprints and all the stuff they need for the third temple. Everything is ready to go. We're this close. So, if it wasn't for God being very patient and merciful, it would be a lot more advanced right now. I really do believe that we are probably on the 7th trumpet now. I think the other 6 have already blown. And possibly the seals, because they blow a trumpet and then the Lord opens a seal. And there's 7 seals. So I think he's about to open the seventh, and the seventh is going to be all hell on earth. And so, Lord, before this happens, can I at least go on vacation, one more cruise, at least swim in some beautiful waters, at least 1 week before all hell on earth? I know that it's not the time to be worldly, but I need a vacation. And I would like a little joy down here before this world is destroyed and we're all persecuted and enslaved and killed. And there's no oceans in heaven, I hear. So it would be nice to be able to go scuba diving at least once. I don't know. Something. Oh well. And the oceans are dying, by the way, on top of it everywhere. I mean, the animals are dying. There's not even reporting all the mass animal die-offs every day. The oceans are dying. The rivers are dying. They're turning to blood red. All of these things are happening and have been happening since 2009. And it's like happening so often now that the mainstream media is not even telling anybody anymore. They don't let the world, they're keeping everybody so busy and distracted with stupid stuff so that they don't realize what's really going on in the world. Does anybody even look at the sun and the moon? Does anybody even know how the weather works? Do they even see what's actually going around, or they always got their eyes on their phone or on TV? Because if you just go out there, read the Bible, and then go and look at nature and see, everything's messed up. You'll see these things. But again, most people don't care, or they wouldn't know what they're looking at. Their consciences are seared. They're deaf, dumb, and blind. They have no idea what's natural and what's not natural, what's going on that's tied to the Bible and what's not. They wouldn't know what was going on until Jesus returns. It's really scary because I'm surrounded by billions of morons. Like people who don't know God, don't know Jesus, have no clue the big picture and what's going on, that they're all a bunch of slaves and they're all being conned. And then people like me are crazy conspiracy theorist Christians, and I'm the one that knows what's going on, and I've been right all along. I've been saying this since I was a kid. This is happening, this is what's going to happen. And so far, I've been right on the button. So, because I know the Word, and I pray to God, and I like to think I walk with Him. So, I'm telling you, there's only two kinds of people in this world. Real Christians, not the apostate lukewarms that fill up the pews and pew warmers. No, real Christians who actually know God and know what's going on, and they can see it very clearly, what's going on. And then everybody else of every false religion, everybody's deaf, dumb, and blind, and deceived by the devil, and has no clue, and they're just kind of a bunch of lemmings running off a cliff, a bunch of sheep to the slaughter. And the remnant faithful who are sounding the alarms and trying to wake people up. And what did Satan do? He came up with another clever idea. We don't want these Christians to wake people up, so we'll make people think that they're the woke generation. So there's no need to be woken up. They're already woke. Woke from what? You're more asleep than you've ever been before. But they call themselves woke. And instead of worrying about being a moral citizen and getting ready for Jesus to return, now they're, everybody's changing their gender and their pronouns and all this other stuff. They're just going so further away, and it's like, okay, just let them go. Honestly, let them go. They're just so useless, honestly. I just want to be surrounded by smart people. That's why I like my Facebook people, because the people who stay on my page are the ones that are like me, who know what's going on. And they're all over the world, but you guys stick with me because you see it too. And so I'm not, we have each other at least. And it is so scary that I walk around and I just look around and it's like everybody's a zombie. They're all in their own little world. They're so clueless. If you stop when you're in a store and you listen to the conversations that worldly people have, I just feel like my brain cells are dying just sitting there listening to the things that they're concerned about. And they act like they're going to have 1,000 years to live, like they're going to be here forever. And I'm like, you have no clue. You're talking about that. You're worried about that. Man, you need to get a life. Like, you really need to get a life. You got time to paint your nails. You're a guy with painted nails and all these piercings and tattoos and colored hair and all this. Get a life. Like, you're making yourself look like a demon. And that's what the devil does. He makes people think, oh, you got to be unique. You got to have your own identity. You're already one of a kind, unique. Your fingerprint is the only one. Nothing else matches it. We are all as unique as snowflakes. We might look similar to other people, but we're all one of a kind. There's no replacing you. So you don't need to pierce yourself up, tattoo, dye your hair, do all crazy stuff to stand out. You already stand out. You know, the devil wants you to do that so that when Jesus looks down to try to find his kids, it's like Halloween. All he sees is a bunch of costumes everywhere, and everybody's dressed up like ghouls and goblins and punk rockers, and he's like, where are my humans that I created in my image and likeness? I'm a holy, handsome, wholesome God. And these are my kids? They look like the devil. Like, I didn't create them like that. They're changing their sex, they're changing their gender, they're doing everything. What is this? This is not my image and likeness. And that's why Satan does it. Because we need to be like Jesus, or we can't get into heaven. God said if he doesn't see holiness, spotlessness, see his Son in us, then we haven't been transformed and we're not getting into heaven. And Satan is doing everything he can to make us look so opposite of Jesus. That, I mean, you can't tell what I can't even tell sometimes, a lot now, if I'm looking at a man or a woman anymore. I literally have to ask, and then I get in trouble. How dare you ask me? Well, I don't know what I'm looking at. You look like a boy. I think you got boobs. I don't know what is this? Are you a girl or a boy? I don't identify. I don't have a gender. So what am I supposed to call you? It? I can't call you sir if you're a girl. I can't call you miss. You get upset. What am I supposed to? It's just ridiculous. It's sick. You hit on a girl and it turns out it's a guy. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm so tired of it. I really am. And I can imagine how angry God is. Because this is so far off from what God created. And they don't even realize it. And they don't care. It's total rebellion against God. It really is. People don't even know why they're doing it. They're literally doing it to rebel against their Creator. Like they're literally pointing their finger in God's face saying, you made me the wrong sex. You made me a guy. I wanted to be a girl. Or vice versa. You don't know what you're doing. I want pink hair or green hair. I want, Okay. So God doesn't know what he's doing. Whatever. And so when his judgment comes, and it is already being poured out, but when it really starts coming, don't cry, don't complain. I don't want to hear anybody complaining. Oh, poor us. Why is God so mean? I would have already pushed the button. Me? If I would have already done it a long time ago. I would have felt bad afterwards, but when I get angry, I don't put that button, that red button anywhere near me because I will hit it and then I'll feel bad afterwards and I wish I didn't. But I'm getting fed up. I really am, and I can imagine how God is feeling. And so this is where hell comes from. God literally takes his wrath, his anger, and he keeps it separate from himself. He can do that. He takes all his bad emotions and anger and wrath, and he takes it and he puts it over here for later. And he stays merciful and loving and long-suffering and patient and kind until the day of judgment. And then he takes his wrath and then it ends up in hell. And that's what hell is. Hell is actually God's wrath taken away from him, because it wouldn't be heaven if he had anger issues and stuff up there. So he separates it from himself. Nobody likes to feel angry. It's a terrible feeling when you're angry or depressed or upset or whatever, right? So God separates all those emotions from himself and puts it in a place called hell. And it's eternal because God's eternal. So his wrath and anger is eternal. And then he puts it over there and he keeps his happiness and his blessing, the nice side of him, that's eternal too. And he keeps that facing us. Thank God. But there's going to be a time where his justice, and he takes that wrath and he throws it at us. And we're not going to have anywhere to run. And we brought it upon ourselves. And we are running out of time to become holy. And that's why I'm so stressed out, because I know I'm not ready. I know I'm not where I need to be. The more I, try, the more I seem to mess up. And the more I study and read, the more I realize there's more sins. Oh my gosh, there's more things I need to confess. Like, the more God shows you how the littlest thing is a huge deal to him, it's like, I'm so screwed. I have to get this. I am not ready yet, you know? And I read about these saints and I watch these videos and it terrifies me because I'm like, oh, come on. I thought I was doing better, but now I just listened to this saint and I am totally, if Jesus returns right now, I'm done. I'm going to hell. So now I understand why the Protestants don't want to hear any of that stuff. They just want to, John 3:16, God loves me and everything's great. And they just go on with their life and they don't worry. But the Catholics are like, no. Where's your cross? Where's the misery? Where's the suffering, the penance, and the fasting, and all that stuff that Jesus, expects? Well, you just think that, Jesus loves you. Yes, he does love you, but you're still going to go to hell if you don't do this right. And they're thinking they're doing it right because they know John 3:16. And I almost wish they were right. If they're right, then we're just overdoing it, and we're not enjoying our lives. But if we're right and they're wrong, there's going to be a lot of Protestants in hell. All of them, probably. Because they're probably, they're nice people, but they're probably not. When God says, what did you do with your talents, or what did you do for me, or what did you do for others, or, where's the fasting? Where's the prayer? Where's the penance? Where's the suffering? You don't do all that stuff. Where's the Mass? Where's the body and blood? Like, all the things I told you to do, where is it? And what are they going to say? Their whole life is over now. Now they're on Judgment Day. And they just said, I just believe John 3:16. And that's, okay. And it just let you in? Meanwhile, the Catholics have to constantly evaluate our conscience. And we always feel guilty and condemned. And we're always having to carry a cross and pray, and do all this extra work and do everything you're not doing. And then you get to go to heaven. We don't. I don't know. I understand why they want to be that way. Ignorance is bliss. Catholic, it's not easy being a Catholic because there's a lot more pressure on us. There's a lot more expected of us, from us. We know a lot more. That's why we have the fullness of the faith. So we have way more knowledge than the Protestants do. Maybe God will have mercy on them because they don't, and he won't judge them so harshly because they don't have the fullness of the faith that we have. But then again, whose fault is that? They chose to be protesting. They chose to take the easier road. Most of these Protestants are living on the broad road of destruction that's paved with diamonds and gold and all kinds of attractions, and it looks like a vacation compared to the narrow road of the cross that we're on as Catholics. That's all thorns and rocks and miserable. And so we're either wasting our life as Catholics trying to do all this stuff that's unnecessary, or the Protestants are getting their reward now and wasting their life, and they're not going to end up there because they're just having an easier, happier life. Because every Protestant I know is just always happy. They have all the nice cars, all the big, expensive six-figure jobs. They're going on vacation twice a year. They go camping all the time. They get campers and big homes and fancy clothes. And I'm like, and they go, God's blessing me. I'm Catholic. And it's like, I'm Protestant. I'm a Christian. Well, how come I suffer so much? How come I don't have all that? And I really love him, and I'm really trying to get souls to him all the time. And how come I don't have all that? Well, that's because you're a Catholic. You need to come out of that. Well, you don't have it. You're cursed. You're going to hell. You're an idolater. You're doing everything wrong. You're putting too much on yourself. You're all works-based. But the Bible also said works without faith is dead too. So, I don't know. That's why Jesus said not to judge, leave the judging up to him. Maybe Catholics and Protestants will all go to heaven. I doubt it. I know that's what the Bible says, no. Most people won't make it to heaven. But maybe both will be there, but maybe the Protestants, because they took the easier route, won't have the high positions in glory that Catholics have. Maybe Catholics will actually be like kings and queens ruling the universe, and the Protestants will be our servants, maybe. They'll still be happy to be in heaven. But they might not have the, I don't know, maybe God has us doing more now because we have a bigger reward coming or more responsibility. I don't know. You want to be a surgeon, you're going to go to school for 12 years. You want to be a school teacher, you can get in and out in 4 years, right? So it depends on what you want to do. We are going for the gold. We're going for sanctity. We're trying to rule over the angels one day, right? So I guess we have to do this way, you know? But then again, no, the Protestants are wrong because Jesus said what he said. And I'm not seeing them do what he said. Like, as far as you must be like me, you must carry the cross, you must deny yourself. You know, if you don't sell your home and give all your stuff to the poor and follow me, and, you know, all that stuff. Well, Catholics are doing more of that. I'm talking about real Catholics, not your average generic pew warmer who still lives like the world and has a fancy sports car and a mansion and, you know, everything the Protestants have, and yet they only go to church on Sunday and that's it, you know? They're not guaranteed heaven either. I mean, I can't judge them because I don't know their heart and I don't know how much they do behind closed doors for the Lord. I don't know if they pray or do ministry. I don't know what they do. But it doesn't seem like most of the people I know are doing as much as maybe I'm doing or other people are doing. I know that my prayer life has been not that great lately, so I do other things, but prayer is the most important for my soul. So, you know, maybe I'm not going to make it because I'm not praying as much as they are. Maybe they're praying more. Maybe they don't do as much for other people or socially or ministry, but maybe they pray. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have time to worry about it. I'm just really nervous. I feel like time's running out, and I'm not where I need to be. And my life the way it is, it's really taking all my time and energy. It's distracting me from being able to pray as much as I used to and do what I did for the Lord before. So I'm in the same trap as everybody else, and I keep complaining about them, but I'm on the same hamster wheel, and I don't like it. That's why I keep saying I don't like this. I know what the devil's doing. He's keeping me so busy with work and all this other stuff, but what good is it if I don't make it to heaven at the end of the day? You know? And I'm not happy, and there's no joy, and there's no nothing, and so this isn't right. And my prayer life is scanty, you know, so this isn't right. I need to start thinking about myself here. And then for 3 days now, I've been having these fantasies about owning my own place and trying to think about and fantasize about what it would be like to have my own place and actually live somewhere I want to live. And it's been preoccupying my thoughts now, like, constantly. I can't get this idea out of my head. I don't even have money to go to rent a hotel room. Where am I going to get a house? But my mind's been wandering, and then the Bible keeps saying, don't desire these worldly things, especially now in the end times. Don't worry about that stuff. Put first the kingdom of heaven, and these things will be given unto you. Well, I have been trying to put first the kingdom of heaven, and yes, I have a roof over my head, but it's not mine. Like, I have what I need, but it's not what I want, you know, so can I never have what I want? I don't know. I'm really, like, just up all night wondering, Lord, am I doing something wrong? Am I not allowed to fantasize or desire things at all? Am I not allowed to have my own home? Am I not allowed to? Is that too worldly? Am I where you want me? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm trying to just. You know, it's kind of funny that all this stuff popped into my head after I said to the Lord, I surrender. I'm not even going to want anything anymore. I'm not even going to fantasize or think about a better job or a home of my own or what my wife might look like in the future or if I'm going to be a priest or anything. I give your will be done, and I'm dying to myself. That's it. And I left it at the altar. And that was last week at Mass. After Mass, I got on my knees. Nobody else was around. I'm like, Lord, there's no point in me thinking about the future and fantasizing about things I want. What do you want? Because I have to give you my all, and you're going to get what you want, not what I want. So I got to forget about the truck I want, forget about the home I want, and living where I want, and forget about the job or career I want, and forget about the girl I would like to marry, and forget about being a priest, forget about everything. I have to just clear my mind and heart of everything, apparently, according to these saints that I'm reading about, and just totally surrender my not only my free will, but even my desires, everything must go. So basically, I'm not allowed. If I want to do this right, I can't even have my own desires anymore. Like, it doesn't matter if I want to be a mountain ranger for a job. If God wants me to be a janitor, then that's what I have to be. Whether I like it or not, I have to say, Lord, you know my thoughts. You know I'd love to be a mountain ranger. You know I'd love to work outdoors and, in the woods, but what do you want? Not my will be done, but yours. But I'm also getting frustrated because I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for an answer, and I never get an answer. So I'm like, wait, what if I'm already doing what God wants? What if I'm exactly where I should be? What if I'm already exactly doing what He wants me to do? And I hate it. It scares me because I'm like, well, Lord, if you would just tell me, like, Stephen, that you got it. This is what I want. I want you in that job with those people, and that's it. That's where I want you to live. That's what I want you to do. You're doing my will. Well, then I can say, okay, I'm not happy about it, but you know what? At least I know I'm in your divine will, and if you're happy, I'm safe, and I'm happy. I can be happy if I just know. But I feel like I'm not happy because I don't know if I'm just wasting my time. And, like, what if God doesn't care if I change my job and move to Oklahoma? Like, what if He doesn't care? Like, what if it's all up to me and I could, and I'm just wasting my time miserable because I'm not doing anything for myself that I want to do, because I'm waiting for Him to tell me, move, or go this way, or do this, or whatever. And He's not answering me. So it's been 3 years of stagnancy, of just kind of waiting for the Lord, waiting to let me know. Like, I would assume that when God wants me to do something, I'm going to have a burning desire. It's going to be clear. The doors are just going to open. I'm going to know. Like, I'm going to know. So I'm waiting, because right now I don't have an answer. I don't know. I'm just going through the motions every day, and that's what I hate. It's monotony. It's like a foretaste of hell. Every day, just the same old broken record every day, and you don't like anything about it. But you got to be grateful, because it could be worse. So you just keep going. But I'm like, no, it doesn't seem like this is the life God created for me. Why would He give me the heart of a warrior and then tell me I can't do anything with it? Like, I don't get it. So maybe my time's not here yet. Maybe I'm 40 years in the wilderness. I don't know. But I do know that I'm looking at the world and things are ramping up. And it's like, Jesus, before I even get a chance to do anything for you, or live my life, or be a priest, or get married, or have my own home again, you're probably going to return. So I never got a chance to do anything. And so, well, I just got the answer now. That's why you're supposed to be in my will, and don't worry about what you want. Because you are doing what I want. And as long as you're doing what I want with your time, then when I come to collect you, you'll be fine. But if I come back for you and you're not doing what I need you to do, you're the wicked, lazy servant who gets thrown into hell. So I guess the final battle I'm having now with myself is really dying to myself and to my desires. Like, I guess I have to just stop wanting anything. Stop thinking. Stop designing a house in my mind, or a place I want to live, or the perfect job, or the perfect wife, or whatever. Just stop. And just be empty-headed. And that's it. And just be a machine and walk around and just wait. And no offense, Lord, but I don't know how else to say this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. I can't just wait for $1 million to fall out of the sky, or for somebody to die and leave me everything. I mean, so I just, do I look for a better paying job? Do I stay here where I'm at? Do I really try to get my own place? Do I go abroad? Do I stay here? What? I just wish the Lord would tell me, no, stay, or yes, go, or yes, it's okay to find a better job that makes you happier and gives you more money, or, whatever. But I'm not hearing anything. Anything. And that really bothers me, because I don't know. I don't even know if I'm in good standing with Him. What if I'm not in good grace with Him, and that's why I'm not hearing anything? What if He cut me off? What if He's literally done with me? Like, what if something's wrong? What if I did the unpardonable sin? I don't know. All these questions going through my head. Like, Lord, why am I not walking in miracles like before? Why am I not hearing from you anymore? Where'd you go? What's going on here? What am I supposed to tell people? Like, how am I supposed to minister to people if I don't even know what I'm doing myself anymore? This is not a good place to be. So unsure. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too scrupulous. I have no idea anymore. I mean, I got all these books and tons more, and they're all like, penance and fasting and, basically beating you into submission and telling you you can't really enjoy anything. Like, I get guilty if I enjoy an ice cream now. It's like, is this sinful? Should I be eating this? I mean, or am I eating too much? Am I not supposed to enjoy anything? Should I be putting ashes on it or something? Like, I don't know. I can't be like Mother Teresa and all these other crazy saints. And I don't want to be either. Like, that's a bit too much. So I'm trying to figure out who I'm supposed to be. And I don't know how close I am or how far away still from it. I don't know. I can't even get a spiritual director. Nobody wants to be my spiritual director. I can't. Nobody's got answers anymore. I don't know. And then somebody told me, well, your desires might be coming from God. Maybe that's why you desire to be a priest. Or maybe that's why you're thinking about marriage. Or maybe that's why that house is in your mind. Maybe God wants you to go for it. Well, I don't have 2 pennies to rub together. Where am I going to get a $200,000 or $300,000 house in the Virgin Islands? Like, there's just not. So that might be the answer right there. Like, come on, Steve. Your health, your finances, your situation. You can't get into seminary. You can't be a priest like that. You can't get married like that right now. You have nothing to offer anybody. You can't even support yourself. How are you going to support a wife and kids? You don't even have a home of your own. Like, there's your answer. You can't do anything. So basically, what am I supposed to do? Just wait to die, roll over and die? Because that's what makes me depressed. Because every time I think of something I want to do, I can't. And there's a million reasons why I can't do it. And it just stinks. It's like I feel like a bird in a cage. Like somebody clipped my wings and threw me in this cage, and all I could do is fantasize about how nice it would be to fly and do all these things I should be able to do, but I can't get out of this cage. So it's useless to even think about anything because I can't do it. It's impossible. It's like being in prison. My life has become a prison, and I'm really unhappy. So, and it's not because of my faith. However, if I live like the rest of the world, and that's what gets me so irritated, I see these other people on my Facebook, they're not Christians, and they just seem to be, every day they're in another bar, having fun, partying on the beach, traveling the world. Where do they get all this money from to do this? They got their own yachts, they're living in Florida, California, whatever. They're enjoying their life. And they like to rub it in. Oh, Steve, you enjoying your life? Oh, it's not very fun being a Christian, is it? And it sucks. I'm like, Lord, why do you let these jerks just sink their boat? Like, why do you let them exist? Like, all they're doing is mocking you. They're all whatever. But that's their only reward, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. And now I understand, and I don't want to make this sound bad, but Jesus did say, before you follow me, if you want to be my disciple, first count the cost. And maybe that's why people don't want to do this, because the cost is too high. I don't know. Then again, maybe I'm not in God's good grace, and maybe that's why nothing's working for me. Maybe something's wrong. I don't know what to think anymore. I really don't. I don't know why nothing's happening, why I'm not, being blessed anymore. I don't know. Somebody told me I might be doing my purgatory now. I don't think so. Maybe this is getting me ready for the next, whatever God's gonna do. I don't know. I really just don't know anything anymore. I know that Jesus is Lord. I know the Bible is true. I know that. I know God's coming back. I know my Christian faith is the right way. That I know. That I'm certain about. I know for a fact. But as to what I'm supposed to do the rest of my life, or what's going on in my life right now, and why, I have no clue. I actually don't know. And for the first time in my life, I have no clear direction or desires. Like, for many, many, many years, the goal was seminary. And when I finally got in, it was like I was so happy. It was like winning the Powerball, like winning the lottery. And I was like, finally, my life's going to start. And I sold my place and I got out of here and I went to seminary and I was going to college and I was going to have a degree in a few years and I was going to be a priest and I was going to be living my dream and I was abroad and I was meeting new people and my life finally started. I was so happy. So happy after 39 years of misery. And that lasted 6 months. And now I've never been more alone and miserable and unhappy in my life. My dream is crushed. My heart is broken. My vocation is destroyed. I'll never be a priest. I don't know what to do now. I feel like I had everything and then it was just taken from me. So I literally feel like every day I just survive, just waiting to die. Like I get up, go through the motions and wait to die. Like it just stinks. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel, and it's my circumstances. I mean, if I had $100,000 tomorrow, things would change, but I don't, and I have no way of getting it. So it's not even an option, and it's scary because I'm trying to just trust God, but my mind keeps saying, "What about the future? What about the future? What if something happens to Donnie? You're going to be on the street. That could happen at any moment. Any moment, something could happen, Steve, and you're going to have nowhere to go. And then what?" So stop complaining about what you do have. And I'm like, yes, I'm trying to be grateful because, if something happens to her, she don't wake up tomorrow, everything changes for me and I have nowhere to go. I have no family. She's the last friend I have. I wouldn't be able to keep the place, most likely. They're saying it's going to be liquidated now. So I hate living like this. Not knowing anything and having nothing to look forward to. It's not like I'm waiting for, like I have an application in seminary and I'm waiting to hear whether I'm getting accepted, something to hope for. I got nothing right now. There's nothing going on. There's nothing. I got nothing on the burner. Nothing I'm waiting for. There's nothing. It's just this. And I'm so miserable because I have nothing to wait for, nothing to get excited about, nothing to look forward to. So I'm like, I gotta make something happen. I'm gonna have to make something happen. But I don't want God to get angry at me and say, hey, I didn't tell you to do that. Like, you're going on your own way again. You should have waited for me to open up the right doors at the right time. And I'm afraid that if I try to do something myself, I'm gonna mess up God's plan. If He has one. Like, if He wants me to wait and I go and change jobs, it could be disastrous. Change everything again, delay me again for another few years. So now I don't know what to do. I'm afraid to say anything. I'm afraid to move. I'm afraid to change jobs. I'm afraid to look for a home. I'm afraid to do anything because I don't know what God wants me to do. I don't know what direction. Does He want me to go back into religious life? What do I do with my dog now? Does He want me to go be a monk? Does He want me to... Well, I have to start applying if I'm going to do that. Is there even time? Is my health going to allow it? Does He want me to wait for a wife or get married? Like, does He want... What... And honestly, even if I won the Powerball tomorrow and had a big home and a nice wife, what if I don't make it to heaven? Like, all I know is I want what I need to be able to get to heaven. I don't want anything that's going to keep me out of heaven. So I don't want money and homes and wives and kids or whatever if that's not God's will for me. Because then He's going to say, you've already had your reward. And, depart from me. I want to know that whatever I do and have comes from the Lord and that it's what He wants me to have. And that's it. So because when God does stuff, it's to help you get to heaven. If we do stuff on our own, it could take us back into the world, out off of His path that He's got set for us, and we can end up in trouble. We could end up in hell. And so I don't want to take that chance. So I don't know what to do now. Alright, anyway, I'm done. I'm tired. I still got to put the garbage out and pour all Donna's meds, and I got to go get my blood work done in a few hours, and I got to go back to work again. Yay. So glad I had this conversation with myself. Anyway, Corinne, I don't know if you're watching this or fell asleep or what, but at least you're watching. At least I'm not alone. I see your little face up here, and it says one person's been watching. So you're in Scotland. I don't know what time it is over there, But it's 5. Wow, okay. 6:21 in the morning. Gosh, I've been talking for an hour. Alright, let me go. I'm exhausted now. I have a headache. And I need to get to sleep. And I gotta get all this stuff done before I can go to sleep. And the sun's already coming up. See you later. Pray for me.